Next up at UFC Kansas City, we have Bruna Brasil taking on Denise Gomes. Bruna Brasil is 8-2 overall, and she is riding a 7-fight win streak into her UFC debut. And she's taking on Denise Gomes, who is 6-2 overall, 4-1 in her last 5, coming off that grappling loss to incredible striker Loma Lookboonmee. And Bruna Brasil is a hot prospect. She's got fantastic striking. She has incredible power. She's very creative on her feet. Everything she throws is wild. She's throwing Superman punches, spinning back kicks. She just marches forward, throwing an entire arsenal at her opponent, looking for a finish. She does have takedowns as well, but they're not good. They're BJJ takedowns. If you don't know what I mean by that, so I've wrestled my whole life, and then I transitioned
here we go.
Then I transitioned
Angela, I wrestled from ages 12 to 20. I've wrestled my whole life.
I'm only 26, so that's a good chunk of my life.
My apologies.
Anyway, BJJ takedowns are like they'll shoot, but their head is down, and then they'll step their leg around the outside and pull them over and trip. She's getting takedowns, and it looks like she's shooting, but those are not wrestling shots, and those are very easily defended if you have decent takedown defense. But her BJJ is solid once she actually gets there. She's a striker through and through. She's taking on Denise Gomes. Denise Gomes is also a tough striker, but she can grapple. She's got a little bit better grappling. She can be hittable, but she's really tough, never out of a fight. She's going to continue to come forward, bite down, and bomb away. It does take her a few minutes to get going. She's one of these slow starters. She works in kicks really well, and she can be dangerous on the ground. This is actually going to be a very fun fight. I expect this to be two women just going at it, trying to get a finish. I think Bruna's going to march forward and just go wild, do the spinning, throwing the teeps, doing whatever. Denise is going to try to counter with just big, looping, wide power. I think Bruna's going to be the better striker. She's definitely the more creative striker. I think Bruna's going to get this done. What?
Sorry, that guy that was complaining about me being a douche, he posted my comment in the chat and said, like, that's why I'm being, I was a douche. The thing about for Twitter is so
Can you just imagine this guy? If you're this guy saying that Jacob
I even offered to suck his toes.
If you're this guy, Jacob was a douche on Twitter. What is this? Does he have...
That thing's 10 out of 10, man.
Burns
was too busy. I'll read it out loud. I'd like to read it out loud if you don't mind. Was too busy, and this was a guy that said, good call on the font pick or something like that, like to my rant this morning. I said, was too busy all week trying to get your sweaty mom off my dick so she could get back to your house and make you dinner before your insulin levels dropped and you had another seizure.
Well, so Burns was very offended by that. I cannot imagine being offended by anything that we tweet and then coming back and being like, that was offensive, Jacob. What is your life
he said,
like?
ha ha.
I think so too. I think so too. Somebody said you were unprofessional and then unsubscribed.
Yeah, well, they should see my OnlyFans.
Very unprofessional. Anyway, I think Bruna Brasil gets it done. I think she comes forward, spins, bombs away, looks for that finish. Denise, not really a counter striker, so she's going to bomb away. Wide looping shots. Bruna's going to be the much better striker, the more technical striker. I see Bruna getting it done, but if we didn't learn anything from last week, do not bet on Bruna Brasil. Do not
put her in every parlay.
Because she's going to come out.
Shit, man.
She's going to look like...
I forgot her name.
Jacqueline Amorim. Jacqueline Amorim 10-8 rounded that first round, basically.
Jesus Christ. Just lock up. I mean, underneath the neck and can't hold on to the goddamn choke. That alone cost me like 4 or 5 units off the first fight of the card because I had her in parlays. I had this and that. I was like, holy fuck, man.
Yeah. Well, dude, somebody just hit up the comment section basically saying you're not transparent. It is unbelievable. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Okay. Clueless.
Well, I'm on Bruna Brasil. I'm not betting it
they don't know
because
what
I don't trust her.
transparency is because they all live in their fucking basements.
What do you think?
There's no windows.
What do you think about this fight?
I'll tell you what. I agree that on film, on tape, when you're watching Bruna, especially in her last fight, the Contender Series fight, she does look fantastic. I mean, she is hands low, confident, striking. As Angel mentioned, does the wild stuff. Angel mentioned the wrestling as well. I see it more of like, you obviously know more than I do. I thought it was more of like a judo. But either way, it's not wrestling, right? We're both saying it's not wrestling type takedowns. And I don't think she could take down Denise if she wanted to anyway. The issue is, in that Contender Series fight, that girl was teeny tiny. I mean, that girl was teeny tiny, and she was able to do kind of whatever she wanted because of the crazy range. And even still, that teeny tiny girl kind of got in some clinch situation, was kind of holding Bruna against the cage. And if Denise is anywhere near her, Denise is her size. She will grab her. She will throw her to the ground. And I don't think you can trust Bruna Brasil off her back, because to me, she reminds me when she actually, this is like a weird comparison. I mentioned in my quick pick video, and I don't mean she strikes like him, but the way she fights is like Anderson Silva, right? She likes to be clean, hands low, in and out, doing the wild stuff. And I'm not saying she's as good as Anderson Silva. I'm not saying that. But she wants to fight clean. And Denise is a girl that can make fights dirty. She just fought a very, very good striker in Loma Lukbumi. Got inside, engaged, and yes, Loma was able to take her down and had some positions, but she still fought through all those positions, reversing positions, getting on top of Loma, getting in, blood everywhere. In the third round, took Loma's back. She is in there to fight. She is an absolute dog, and I think she turns this into a dogfight, and I don't think Brazil has a chance in a dogfight against my girl, Denise Gomes. So I'm Denise Gomes all the way. Obviously, if this stays clean, Brazil is going to look fantastic, but I think Denise gets inside, gets her to the ground, and just beats the shit out of her. So I'm Gomes all the way. That's for you, I did that for you, I.
That could literally look like the Jack and Amorim fight. Bruna could keep it clean and technical the first round, start to slow down, and then Denise just makes it ugly and pours on a beating. So Jacob and I split on this pick. I do think Bruna gets it done. $9,300 on women's MMA for a UFC debut is absurd. Do not spend that money, because the likelihood of her getting a finish is incredibly low, and you're going to need a finish for that $9,300 to be worth it. And if you don't get a finish, then you need a Marab. You need somebody to shoot a million takedowns and get the control time. And that's not Bruna either. So not spending that $9,300. Jakey boy, you're going to spend the $6,900?
I like that price point, baby.
Especially if you think she's going to... You think she's going to grapple.
She might 69er in there. North-south. Dominator. Really put it to her.
You happy with yourself with that one?
I mean, how many times have you been in North-south? In a gi? Nuts in your face?
On bottom? Never.
You're not a bottom? Power bottom?
I am not. We want picks.
I am not.
We want picks.com. It's only $10 a month. Unlock everything, including our newest edition, Artem, who is breaking down LFA fights, PFL fights, Cage Warrior fights, giving you round leans, confidence picks, and all of that. It's not just UFC content. WeWantPicks.com. At the top, click Become a Member. AS says, Taylor Angelo's picks if you want to get rich. That's not the one I meant to pin. I meant to pin this one. Premium is only $10 a month.
I bet.
No, it's literally.
I get it. No, I get it.
Premium is only $10 a month.
You didn't even, oops. You were like, oh, didn't mean to pin this, but I'll read it since it's up.
You know I'm Ron Burgundy when stuff is on this screen. How many times have I read God knows what? Keaton says, premium is only $10 a month. That's a bag of chips and a pop soda for everybody else. How can you not? I agree, Keenan. It's actually absurd at that price point.